Hello everyone, Bertina Amy here, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I thought it would be fun to do this Dollar Tree's 4D Hermione Granger from Harry Potter unboxing. I have never done one of these types of puzzles before, but I was excited to give it a shot for $5. In the time that I'd seen these over at the Dollar Tree, I had only seen Hermione, Harry, and Ron, and no other characters either in the Wizarding World or in any other possible fan favorites. I also thought it might be kind of fun to dive into a little bit of ASMR for this YouTube channel, and also provide a bit of a review of my personal experience in using this 4D puzzle from Dollar Tree. I'm not gonna lie, there's some sort of fun sensation by just poking these pieces out. So I started off initially by poking out all the pieces for at least two of these, I'm gonna call them pages. They came in about 6 sets of pages or so that are folded in half, and I did first at least 2 pages completely poked out, which I later regretted just simply because it made it a lot harder to find all the pieces, keep them organized, and a small select few didn't even have their labels on them. Admittedly, a couple of these pieces ended up breaking apart, and I ended up having to use a little bit of glue to keep it together, but it was meant to actually be folded anyway, and it didn't really affect the overall quality once the piece was completed. Once I realized this, I decided to stop poking all the pieces out and then just try to make do with what I did poke out, and I referred back to the original pages they were from so that I could confirm what pieces they are if they were missing the labels, which frankly was only an issue for 2 pieces at most. The instructions are fairly easy to follow for the most part. It also took me a minute to realize that a lot of the pieces that had these different numbers and color combinations and shapes and color locations and things like that, all to mark exactly where things belong, took me a minute to understand how it all worked. So get familiar with the instructions as well as the shapes and the numbers listed throughout the entire pieces and all that, just so that you can get an idea of how it works. Because honestly, the concept is rather simple, and I just wish I'd figured that out a little bit sooner. The material is made out of pretty dense cardboard, and the project overall was a lot of fun to put together. It was really satisfying not only to poke out all the pieces, but also to actually push pieces through other pieces to make it connect. It almost kind of has a sort of click sound with it. I feel like I've learned a lot just from this first experience, but I think if I were to do it again, I would probably do a much better job. Admittedly, I figured out some tips just from this one project alone. I decided to skip over the video portion that showed that I was realizing I made a mistake in how I was putting this together. And instead, here's where I realized that I need to connect the pieces simply by looking at the colored combinations. So for example, the top piece might be in green and the bottom piece might be in pink, and the pieces connecting to those two together, the top part that needs to connect to the top part would be green, and the bottom part would connect to the bottom part that also is pink instead of green. So I hope that makes sense, but it should be clear when you kind of mess around with it, and then you'll realize, okay, you got to do it that way. And they're also numbered from 1 to whatever until all the pieces are put together. I should also mention that this video is not sponsored, so if you're enjoying this video so far, please like and subscribe. And for this front part of the body piece, I went ahead and used a pair of scissors as my tool for poking out those tiny little pieces. Then I realized when I had to attach it to the other piece I already put together, I had to go from left to right to make it easier, because starting from the center actually made it harder to connect the opposite sides. And now that I've finished explaining all that, here is my promised ASMR portion of the video. And here it is completely finished. You can't even see the pieces that got torn in half or whatever because they were meant to be bent anyways. Not bad for $5 from Dollar Tree. I definitely enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe. And until next time, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.